Hey guys, welcome to this quick guide on how to play Pokemon Go. We're going to be covering some of the basics. Um, let's start with the basics of the control and how to manage your avatar and your Pokemon. So on the bottom part of your screen, you're going to see the avatar name, the Pokeball, and the on the right side is going to be the closest Pokemons around. We're going to go with the avatar first. You click on the avatar, it's going to show you your name and the XP and how much XP you need for the next level. It's also going to show you what team you belong to and how many Pokemon coins you have. On this bottom section, it's going to show you just the achievements that you have had or you're almost close to reaching. I already reached some, and some are basic just for probably just catching the same type of Pokemon, and so forth. This is good to know and good to have. Let's go with the most important one now. This is the Pokeball in the middle. So you click on the Pokeball. This is your basically your site to go. This is where you manage all your Pokemon, the shops, the Pokedex, and the items. Let's go with the Pokemon first. Now, as you can see here, I'm level 10, so I just have a little bit of Pokemons under my belt. But what I want to go with first is on the bottom right, it's going to show you CP. You want to click on that, and this just shows you a particular way of how to arrange your Pokemon by favorites, the numbers, by HP level, the name, or the combat. I usually prefer combat so you can show me the strongest to the weakest monster. My strongest right now is the Hypno. I just called it Tetra for sake of it. But yeah, as you keep catching Pokemon, some of them are probably just going to be caught at a high CP level, or sometimes you have to evolve them, and that goes to our next step. So now we're talking about this. We want to go to one of the most often ones that I feel often pop out, the Rattata. You click on that, and as you can see, just a little bit how to read this. So if you can see the power up, you need the Stardust. So you need at least 1,000 to power the combat level of Rattata. You also need one of what they call the Rattata candy. And what happens with that is how you get the candy is you have to send it to the professor, I believe. So I can give this one up just in case. So I have one Rattata that's already evolved. But for sake of the video, I'll give one up so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So here's the Rattata. So transfer, and it says you want to transfer to professor, yes. You're gonna wait sometimes a little bit, and you got transfer. So now when I look to my other Rattata that I have here, let's see where I put this one at. Probably moved up a little bit. So now I have 28 and I had 27 before. So once you get to the amount, you can evolve them. Now, here's a trick about evolving Pokemons that we started seeing. The higher the combat level of the Pokemon is, so this one is 127, the higher the evolution it would be. So you wanna, if you don't catch a strong Rattata, for example, you wanna increase it by powering it up. Try getting it to like 200, so when it evolves, you can become a stronger one. For example, I have the Raticate right here, the evolve level after the Rattata, and it's 287, and it's pretty weak. But if you level them up beforehand, especially when they're in lower levels, that's how you get it going. Now, there's some Pokemons that obviously, if you know, they evolve into up to 2 stages. So you have the second one for this one was Verticade, but that is it. There's no more evolving after that. But there's some other ones that we've noticed that also evolve another level, and so you just have to figure out which ones, if you know Pokemon very well, just which ones are you have to evolve. Um, the second thing too, just to kind of notice, just like the types of powers that they have, the abilities. This one has X scissors, and it also shows you here the map of where you got the Pokemon. So just keep that in mind, just in case you want to keep, want to keep finding them. And as well as something that you have to notice as you're looking for Pokemons is that you have to go to places where um, according to their type. So, for example, the Horsey sometimes pops out near water as well as the Seal. Sometimes they don't, but most of the times you probably get more water type Pokemon by going to those places. And I will also tell you to go to different far and more farther off places so you can get different types of Pokemons. That's it for right now. We can show you guys the fighting and Pokemon Gym and Pokespots later. They're just like a small little basic. Now, when I click X, and then we're gonna go again to the Pokeball, and we're gonna go to the second most important thing, which I think is the items. So now, the items, as you can see in the top, is gonna show you out of how many you can have, and all of these you're gonna use primarily in the Poke Gym, which will be another YouTube video. But as you can see, some potions that we have basically to helping for Pokemon fights, reviving Pokeball, The lure models are going to be something that's interesting, especially when you go to a Pokespot. Sometimes you can use this on there, and according to what type of model you have. For example, this one just brings the Pokemon towards that model, so anybody that's close to that Pokespot can benefit from it. And you also have the camera option. When a Pokemon pops out, you can enable this option so you can like actually see the Pokemon on your screen and it pretends to be out in the real world and catch it, which I think is pretty cool. And then you have the egg incubators, which we're gonna go to next. Um, Now that you see where the egg incubators are and you see you have them here, you want to go back to the Pokespot and go to the Pokemon section. To the right, if you scroll down to the right, it's going to show you the type of eggs. How do you get these eggs? By going to Pokespot, sometimes you get them, sometimes just by walking around, and you have to walk a certain amount of kilometers. For example, right now it's just been 2, and the other one has been 5 kilometers or 2. Once you finish walking them, they evolve and hatch. I believe I did that, and I had this one. Had the Clefairy, if that's what I'm saying correctly. It just came out from the egg. Now, one thing about the eggs that's really important to understand is that you get a lot of the Stardust, which where you can see right here the Stardust on the left side, the 378. You have a lot of those, and you also have a lot of XP for your avatar. So the more eggs that you crack, and as long as you keep walking and get those milestones reaching the 2 kilometers or 5, the more XP you will have for your avatar and the more Stardust you need. You really need Stardust a lot, as well as the type of Pokemon to get the what's called the candy for the evolving of the Pokemon. Now that we have that base, we're gonna go back to the Pokeball, and we're gonna go to the Pokedex. Now, this just shows you the type of Pokemon that you already have encountered. The other ones, you still have to find. Some of them are going to be part of the evolving part of the Pokemon. So just over time, you're going to start seeing more and more. We're going to start seeing more and more as well, what other people are getting their Pokemons and so forth. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, the shop, just one thing about the shop. You really don't really need to buy anything from the shop because it's going to cost you actual real life money, but it's not worth it because everything is generally easy to obtain as long as you walk. Now, let's go to the second part here. On the right side of your screen, you're going to see the Pokemon. Now, this is just a little basic. So, if it has three little fingerprints on the bottom, it's just going to show you the distance. For example, the 3 means that it's really far. It's going to probably take you a good maybe 10-minute walk to probably reach it. If it has 2, it's probably like around the corner. That's just an estimate. And if it has 1, it's really near you. You just have to walk a few, I'll probably say maybe like 200 feet. And when it doesn't have anything, obviously it's just going to pop out and you're going to try to see and catch it. Um, but that's it for right now. I'm going to show you guys another video on how to use the Pokemon gyms, and how to catch certain particular Pokemon and the types of circles and so forth, and when to throw the Pokeball and when to not. Thank you guys for watching this video and have a good day.